No more fucking around. It's Wild Style Radio. Wild Style Radio.
What's up, and welcome to the Stand Up and Shout Rock Show, coming to you live from Salisbury Center Studios in Manassas, Virginia, on the Wild Style Network, fueled by Monster Energy. What's up, dude?
Nicely done, man. It's been a long time. It's my fault. I'm sorry. We should have been here a week ago, but instead we're here now.
We're here now. Yep.
I went down to San Antone.
Yeah. How was it,
It was
down
warm,
there?
very warm. And the ranch water flowed, so I can't complain.
All right.
Yeah. So like
No cerveza.
a little bit of that, I had to follow. So it was, a fruitful event.
Business and pleasure.
It was business and pleasure, right? There was a little mix.
Okay.
Can't go wrong.
Cool.
But we're here. So we're here 2 days before the Spread Eagle show.
That's right. Yep.
And that was the last time that we chatted.
It was. Yeah. And we interviewed
Rob
and
Jami.
Mm-hmm. And so they're going to be here Friday night with F It All.
Yes, which is a great interview. Like, even if you're not going to the show on Friday and you happen to see this conversation months from now, you can go back and learn a lot about Spread Eagle in that interview. A lot of good stuff.
For sure. And and if not, you could see that interview, the one we did, and you can hear them again. So you should be coming out to the Salisbury Center on Friday night.
Yeah.
Get your tickets
Yes.
at salisburycenter.com.
Uh-huh.
And you'll be able to see the interview here, another episode of the Stand Up and Shout Rock Show.
Uh-huh.
We'll have all the guys from Spread Eagle.
Yeah.
And as well as our friends in F It
F It All, yes. Yeah, we were actually talking about the possibility of F It All coming in tonight.
Right.
But they were busy
Sure.
rehearsing. We'll assume they're rehearsing.
Okay. Well, better.
Yeah.
Hopefully they've been doing additional rehearsing and
I
not
was
waiting
gonna say,
until
what
the
do they
last
have
minute.
going on? This guy's got nothing going on.
I'm sure we'll see pictures of some happy hour somewhere with
He's
all of
right,
them.
yeah. By the way, that was the return of Jeff Salisbury. It's like what we've done. How many months now without Jeff Salisbury, the voice of God, coming in,
A couple shows.
and breaking
at
out
least.
into the conversation?
Yep.
And we got him back in full force tonight too. He's a part of the conversation. We prepped him.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Been busy.
Yeah. So and then tonight we're celebrating. We're really kind of, to me, celebrating 2024 for the first time
Correct. Yes.
by going back 40 years when we were all little squirts and going over some of the albums that we loved so much from 1984.
From 1984. Yep.
Not the book, but I will say this about 2024. Like, to get to 2024 real quick. Have you heard the new Black Crowes album,
The first song.
The Happiness Bastards?
Yes.
It is so good. I am in love with that album.
Well, not only that, that's I have to listen to it. Like I said, the first song I really love. And then the new Pearl Jam stuff that's
Yes.
coming out.
Yeah.
So that first song is just bitching.
Yeah, so we've done that, right? Like last year we pulled back midsummer and talked about our favorite albums, like up till mid-year. I got some front runners, like out of the gate. So like you said the first song, but my favorite song so far on the new Crows album is the second song.
Okay.
Rats and Clowns, which is a slick title, slick lyrics, and it's an aggressive Southern rock jubilee.
I'm just glad the two of them were able to get in a studio together and do something without beating the crap out of each other.
It sounds like old Crows, man. It's just
Awesome.
so good. Like I've been listening. That's been on, because we talk about that, right? Like, how do you listen to music? Do you just kind of stream? Would you stream Crows? Would you go Crows Radio or random on Spotify or whatever streaming service that you use? I dedicate myself to this album because this album is strong.
Yeah. Well, and me personally, anything that comes out new, I usually have that, just the album. I'll listen to it 3, 4, 5 times before I maybe start shuffling it with other stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but so I've gone more than 3 or 4 times. Like, I just can't. It's almost like the Extreme album from last year. Well, not almost. You're wearing the shirt. But
That's right.
6 was such a great album. That was one I had in heavy rotation and still really do. It's not like I threw 2023 to the wind.
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So yeah, we're going to revisit, and it was a very, very tough chore.
Yeah. So 1984, getting back to 1984, we're going bottoms up. So you remember the classic bottoms up format? If you've seen that format, we go from the bottom of 10 albums of our 10 favorite picks up to the top of number 1. And it's great that Jeff Salisbury is back because he changed this game for us last year when we were doing 1983, not 1984. he put a then and now twist on it that we are now embellished into the whole conversation. So, and that was true, like what we would have loved then versus what we love now. And because we've just gotten a little bit older and our tastes might have changed or been exposed to other things from that year.
Yeah, my tastes haven't changed.
Yeah, it's what did the mullet and brace wearing Jeff want?
Exactly. Yes.
Versus what would Jeff listen to now?
So I will say, like, specifically about me, so I'm not sure, I think you're like looking at me, this Jeff, but I will say that I was in full glam metal mode. You know, like that was like the peak of glam metal for me, and I loved glam metal in 1984. So I think we're starting with then, aren't we?
Yes.
We're going to do a then countdown, then we'll do a now. So I had not discovered other genres of music. That was my self-discovery into glam. So you're going to see probably some glam heavy choices, just to throw that out there.
Yeah. Well, and for, obviously my taste grew through high school into college, and with working in radio where I was doing a pretty heavy thrash.
Yeah.
Got really into thrash. So
yeah, you did.
There's some stuff that came out in 84 that now rates very high up on the hard rock and metal list, but may not even be in the list.
And I'm glad you said hard rock and metal, because we're talking about hard rock and metal specifically, because there could have been some other pop albums, quite frankly, that I would have thrown on this list too.
For sure. I mean, 84 was a huge year in music in general. MTV was just blowing up.
Right.
I was telling Lou before you got here that the summer of 84 was the first time I saw MTV.
Yes.
So for me, it was Friday night videos and, that sort of stuff. And
True.
that completely spun my musical interest, spending a summer watching MTV all the time.
Yeah.
When there were actual videos on MTV.
That's what they played on MTV.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. All right. Ready to get into this?
Why not? Let's go.
All right. So let's see. I was going with my then list. Okay. So I'll also say that I went old school. I went to the art department before the show. So I have actual printouts of my choices. Kevin went electronic. You went to the digital art department. You went to a different side of it that I didn't know existed.
Well, you told us Big John was directing our artwork for tonight.
I did. And then I sent him, I didn't send John a list. I sent him a pile, which then was not good.
I got PowerPoints, PDFs, and Kevin, your web MPs will not load, so I will fix them in post.
Oh, love it.
Right.
Keep it going.
All right. So my number 10, from the art department, is Billy Idol with Rebel Yell. Because you can't go wrong with Mr. William Idol. No. That's a bitchin' album. And the name, just the namesake, the name, the title track of the album, I still loved it. I guess maybe I'm giving away a little bit of now along with then. But I certainly was into this, in 1984 when I was wearing braces.
Yeah, I didn't cheat well enough. Because I overlooked, because I was looking up the top albums, metal albums back then. That wasn't on there. That totally would have been on my list.
Yeah, well, I mean, so like, I guess it could be a pop album, but I would say it's a hard rock album.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely and a punk influenced album.
Yeah.
And we discussed the Billy Squier, which probably would have fallen on my list. It's more of a hard rock than metal, but
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. But yeah, so that's number 10. You'll see it again.
So,
I like it.
Yeah.
My number 10 was Whitesnake. Slide it in.
Really? All right. So that's number 10 for you.
It was awesome.
By the way, we have not seen each other's list, so this is a total reveal for me too. So like I was, and then Kevin, you were outside talking about it a little bit, and I was trying to ignore you. So I did not know that was coming in for you at number 10.
Yeah.
All right.
Love that album.
You might see that again. What you got there, Mr. Salisbury?
Okay, so this is to clarify based off of mullet and braces, Jeff.
Yeah. So
not current Jeff.
Okay. Yeah.
Dokken.
Tooth and Nail.
Yeah, it was Tooth and Nail. Yes.
Yeah, that's of course. That's I think there's gonna be a lot of crossover. Just to warn you, from where I'm going. Do you want to keep going there, Jeff, with number 9?
The Judas Priest. I forget what the name of it was. Let's see here.
Defenders of the Faith.
I was gonna say,
yeah, Defenders of the Faith.
Excellent. Yeah.
That was my number 9.
All right. So that was a then. I mean, that's a contrast. That's not glam. That is like a legit metal album.
Yeah, for sure.
That you just pulled out. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a little bit more rock back then than the glam. The glam came more like 85, 86.
Huh? Yeah. Well,
I had a little bit. There's one that I totally forgot. You may have. Hanoi Rocks, 84.
yes. So wait a minute, but because back to the Mystery Save, because that was on my 83 list, and I'd listen to the shit out of that in 83.
Oh, was it?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, 84 is when they started getting
Two
popular.
steps from the move.
Two steps from the move.
84.
Yes. Back to Mystery City was that before that?
It was because we did that when we did the 83 list.
Yes,
Because
yeah.
Crew was 83 also.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's why they're conspicuously absent on my list.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
All right.
Number 9 for me was Autograph. Sign in, please.
Turn it up.
Good one.
Yeah, that's strong. That's strong. Yeah. Number 9 for me was Black and Blue. Black and Blue. Little
Wow.
Mystery. I played the shit out of this thing.
Yes.
I love this
I
album.
did too.
Hello. Miss Mystery.
And for those that don't know, Tommy Thayer was in that band.
Yes,
long
that's
before
right.
he became
That's right. Yes.
the pseudo Ace Frehley.
Yeah, that's true.
That was also the Larry Garner top 10, probably. The Black and Blue. Black and Blue and Y&T were definitely his top 10.
You know, like it's kind of a shame more didn't happen with that band, with Black and Blue.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, like
They were awesome.
Yeah, like this to me was their album. They put out other albums, but they never got the attention that this one did, specifically for that single Miss Mystery. You know, I don't know. So like if we're talking about Spotify and like revisiting this kind of stuff, I'd revisit this album, but then I don't know if I'd revisit, very frankly, other Black and Blue albums.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Number 9. Man, we're shooting through.
Number 8.
Number 8. You go first, Kevin.
Okay. So number 8 for me was Kiss, Animalize.
I figured. I'm not surprised that's not a higher choice for you.
Yeah.
You were Mr. Kiss. You think you fell in love with Kiss more over the years?
So that was kind of where the line started to fade with me for Kiss.
Oh.
Because the other stuff was really, particularly when they started doing even more writing with Desmond Child, and I won't say it was because of him, but it just got really cliche and bubblegummy,
Yeah.
the stuff after Animalize.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was big into him during the makeup phase.
Yeah.
And
Right, exactly.
Lick It Up, Animalize,
Yes, yeah.
Asylum were all great.
Uh-huh.
And then everything else after that kind of,
So I do not have Animalize in my, and yeah, it fell off for me because I had Lick It Up in 83 and I love that album. Animalize didn't grab me as hard.
Yeah.
I guess as maybe as some of these other albums we're talking about. Not that I didn't have it or didn't listen to it because I did. But yeah, I hear what you're saying about falling off.
Right.
It wasn't as strong.
That was me too. That was sort of loved Kiss in the beginning, sort of faded out in the middle, and then loved them again.
Right.
In the like late 80s, early 90s.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, number 8 for me, Y&T, In Rock We Trust.
Yes.
So like how slick were some of the videos off of this album? Summertime Girls?
Yep.
Remember like that was like it was almost like California Girls from David Lee Roth before he did that video. Like
Right.
that shtick and the campiness and the beach and the the whole summer vibe was really like that was strong in that video.
That was classic music video time.
Yes.
Where it wasn't a lot of the concert footage. There was a story behind the video,
Right.
for the most part.
Right. So there we go as a recommendation. If you're listening and you want to, hear some recommended music, not only just listen to it in a streaming platform, but the video's worth it too, because they just
all
don't
on
make videos
YouTube.
like that
Yeah.
anymore. That's
Nope.
that campiness, and the comedy that's in that video, which is a lot of comedy shtick. It's fun. It's just a fun summer video.
Those were good videos back then.
Hell yeah. So yeah, and then there's another song on here like Lipstick and Leather, which is about like it's obviously a groupie song.
Yeah.
And I was all of 13, and like Lipstick and Leather. Like
Yeah, exactly.
girls do that. So that was a song of fascination for me.
Yeah, they didn't make it for me, but definitely Summertime Girls was in the top 10 rotation though.
Yeah.
The album, not as much, but that
Yeah.
song for sure.
Yeah.
And because of the video.
Yeah.
But my number 8, Slide It In.
Oh, you guys got Slided in a Pie.
Yeah.
Gotta come in, yeah.
I loved that back then.
Dude, that's a slick album.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on my list. Obviously, I haven't hit it yet. So I'm down with you there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna kick off my number 7, Bon Jovi. So, I don't know what to say here. Like, I'm not a big Bon Jovi fan now. This one's gonna drop off my list. But man, did I listen to this shit back then. I love me some of the first Bon Jovi album.
The first 3 albums were fantastic, but I didn't get into them until the next release.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Huh, I'm surprised. Yeah, I had this. I mean, when, Runaway hit MTV,
Right.
that, and that was kind of a premiere video at the time. Yeah, I grabbed a hold of this one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Yeah. Again, like we go back to the videos. I think we're like in this conversation and it was going to hit me, but you see the influence of video back then because that's how you were exposed to new music.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So for me, number 7 was Dio, Last in Line.
All right. Yeah. So it was, I know that's a now, and I'm sure on your now list, that's wickedly high.
Yep.
But so even then you had it in and around, it wasn't as, I was actually expecting that even higher on your then list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was the video. It's just a classic video.
Again, another one. Yeah. And, going back to like his descent into hell.
Right.
And battling the beast down in hell. Power metal at its finest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Strapped into the video machine monster.
Right. And remember he pulls the like, it's not a vein, but it looks like a vein, but it's like a tube and it's green. You know what I mean? And the green stuff, and that's how he like defeats the beast as he yanks the green tube out of his neck.
And Dio wielding the sword all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Classic Dio. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, so my number 7, you and I, great minds. Bon Jovi.
Oh, nice. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. And you had that then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually introduced to them by my buddy Rusty, who moved from South Carolina, and he's like, check this out.
Uh-huh.
And jammed the cassette tape in
Yes.
the boom box.
Yep.
And I was hooked right there.
Sure.
It was Runaway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's all catchy songs. I mean, it was just kind of classic Bon Jovi that was doing catchy hard rock back then.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I don't know, like, did this feel like this to you? It was a little harder than Journey, because Journey was really big back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were like a notch above, like in your metal factor. Not that they were metal, but they were a little bit up on Journey.
Yeah, it was the first kind of crossover, like pop into rock and roll, metalish for me.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So like you felt
more rock and roll
Exactly.
than listening to Journey, because Journey was definitely heavy on the playlist back then too.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Who wants to go with where are we at? Number 5? We're at number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6.
Oh,
Wait
go.
a minute. 10, 9, 8, 7. This is number 5. 10, 9, 8, 7. Oh, never mind. It's
6.
number 6.
Come on, teacher.
I know, right?
So
He's not a math teacher. Don't worry.
Right?
so for me, number 6 was Iron Maiden, Power Slave.
All right. Strong.
It's a killer album. I mean, it had Aces High, 2 Minutes to Midnight, and it had my favorite bathroom song from when I worked at the radio station, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, that's right. So,
If I needed to dip out during a song was playing, 13 plus minutes of music there. So
I was about to say, which is much more of your now list than a then list, because that wasn't a concern, of you.
not
your
then, yeah.
late middle school, early high school years.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, it was more because my mom would be screaming, turn that devil shit off.
Yes, there was that. You always had the threat of that.
Yes.
Back in the
For
80s. My 1984, so I got Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry. So like, if we go to video, there's no doubt that I bought this album because of the strength of the videos that were pumping off of this album. Of course, like I Want to Rock, We're Not Going to Take It. They were just iconic on MTV at the time. I mean, you just could not miss them. So that made my tape collection, very quickly.
That album was great from beginning to end, though.
Oh yeah, of course. But right, exactly. You found it.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you found it. Yeah, I mean the title track. I love Stay Hungry. Still
Yeah.
listen to that song a lot. All right, there, Mr. Salisbury. What you got?
Number 6, I've got Love at First Sting.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
That was definitely heavy rotation for me.
So absolutely. The thing I love about that, because all three of us went to the same high school. If we go back to our high school yearbook, and I don't know if it was the 84, 85, I don't know what, that they toured. They came at the old Capitol Center, like in
Right.
Washington, D.C., And I feel like everybody in our school like went to that. And I did not go to that, which I am like sad to say. I wish it would have made that show. But because of that, I know that when there was a poll put out for the yearbook regarding like albums of that year, that's like, I think it was on the heels of that tour, which a lot of people from our high school with, and that was like easily like number one or number two.
There were people wearing the tour T-shirt from that show,
right?
That you never even would have thought that they were into that kind of music.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, "Rock You Like a Hurricane." Like, how many stadiums do you still hear that in to this day?
Pretty much all of them.
Right. Yep. All right, you want to keep going there, Mr. Salisbury, with your number 5?
Yep. Let's see here. Number 5. Rising Force. Yngwie Malmsteen.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really? Back then?
Back then, Yngwie was my guy back then.
I am stunned.
Chris Thornton
Yingwie?
introduced me because he was Yngwie Wingy. He was a guitar player,
Yeah.
and that was his guy. And then I started listening. I was like, wow.
That is funny. I would not have picked that for you.
Yeah.
Like then, and
Like
your
now,
then
it
list.
wouldn't be on my list now.
Okay.
It would be replaced probably by Metallica, which I'm giving away that it's not on the list.
Yeah.
But back then, Yngwie was like way, way up there.
I mean,
Obviously.
it's
Top
kind
5.
of it's a Metallica move though to kind of have Yngwie there. I mean, it's another
I just
hard.
hadn't heard of Metallica at the time.
Exactly. You have like a hard and heavy replacement. It's not like Yngwie was light.
No, he was heavy, but it was just, I don't know what it was about it. Just the vocals, everything about it. That's a classic album.
Sure.
I mean, I still love it.
Yeah.
I just don't hear it that much.
Yeah.
My cassette tape wore out, so I don't hear too much.
So my number 5 was Judas Priest, Defenders of the Faith.
And you got the electronic showing of it now. The electronic art department came through. So there's your Defenders of the Faith there to match you, Lou. Got 2 votes
there
up
we go.
there. Yours is a little higher.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice. Nice job, John. John, have you heard of any of these albums?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
This was before your time.
Sure he has. Which ones?
Judas Priest, Metallica.
He's heard of the bands, not the albums.
Oh yeah. I guess the bands, not the albums. Yeah, I can name you hit songs, not the album.
That's what I was going to say, because I'm sure you've heard Rock You
Yeah.
Like a Hurricane.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Scorpions. Right. So my number 5, there's my Love at First Sting. So speaking of Rock You Like a Hurricane. So, of course that had to have made my list. We can't go wrong with, I mean, how many great Scorpion albums are there?
10.
Right? I mean, you can't go wrong. Like if you want to go for a streaming rotation and just listening to an artist, you're just going to like machine gun out like tons and tons of great tunes. But of course, this is a great album. It's a great album cover too. So I'll say like 13, 14-year-old me, I was like, I want to be on that album cover. Like how did that
when
happen?
I was looking that up, apparently there was another album cover for it that had just the band on it. I'd never seen that.
It must have been banned in some
I know.
areas.
I've never seen that either. The other thing about 13, 14 years old is like, what does Love at First Sting mean? Like, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that about?
Got all horned up on that one.
I know, exactly. How can I do that? All right, Kevin, you want to go with your number 4?
We were just talking about it.
Love at First
It
Sting?
was Love at First Sting.
Excellent. We're going to get the electronic.
Not yet.
Not yet? Did I catch John off guard? Because you got to throw that one. That is D. Snyder. That's not the, I mean, maybe some people would call that a sexy album cover. It didn't grab me at 13, 14 years old. I mean, I love D. Snyder and everything, but D. Snyder grabbing a bone is not going to do it for me.
Scorps for me.
All right, that's cool. So we all have, is that our first acknowledged triple? Or all three of us have like all 3 of it on the top 10 list?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. All right, we're at number 4. Number 4 for me was Dokken, Tooth and Nail, because that's just a bitchin'. And you know me, I feel like Dokken is a very underrated band still to this day. I still listen to a lot of Dokken.
Yep.
I love George Lynch. This, to me, was Dokken at their peak. Really their second and third album. So I just fell in love, with a lot of the songs that are on this album pretty quickly. And I don't know if it's metal, but certainly good hard rock and great instrumentation from George Lynch. So, if you're not listening to it, you can go back and give it a listen because it's amazing. What do you got there, Lou? Number 4.
Believe it or not, Dio.
Okay. Yeah.
I was a big Dio guy back then.
Okay. Yeah. I
love that, the Holy Diver, like just all the imagery of all that stuff, and then the songs just were awesome rock metal songs. They weren't glam. They were just like rock metal.
Sure.
Know?
Would you say that was Dio at his peak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and Holy Diver.
I was going to say that's 83. So we had, we had Holy Diver on our 83 list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy Diver was the one where I used to love in detention to sketch the album cover with the devil in the chain and all that stuff.
Yeah, with the priest drowning and yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Classic imagery that, of course, my mom loved also.
Yeah, yeah.
What is this? Pentagram.
Right.
What do you worship? That's the first time I ever said the F word in front of her.
Oh.
It's just a fucking rock song. Just a fucking band.
That didn't help your cause.
No, it didn't.
Like that kind of like back.
Yeah. Actually, she let it go. She didn't say anything about me saying it. I was like, what are you talking about?
She went and got The Exorcist at that point.
It's from a band album.
She's expecting your head to spin 360 degrees on your body then at that point.
It was one of those things where I guess she realized, because my dad, I think I've told the story, when I got my ear pierced and my dad didn't show up to the soccer game and asked my mom if she's going to take me to go dress shopping next.
Oh,
yes. All that sort of
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then the doctor basically laid into him, was like, he's never in trouble. He's a good kid. He gets good grades. So what if he wants his ear pierced?
Right.
So what if he's gay, but meanwhile, nothing's going on. What's there to be mad about? So I think she kind of realized, like, I like something different, but I was still a good kid. So
despite your devil worshiping and F-bomb dropping defense of Holy Diver.
Yes, exactly.
You were still defended.
Exactly.
All right, we at number 3?
Yep.
All right, Kevin, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go.
All right.
So it's Twisted Sister.
There's
Stay Hungry.
D with the Bone. John can bring that one back up.
There
D
it
with
is.
the Bone. It is a strong album cover. We're going to see D at the M3 Rock Festival, really in another month. It's just about a month away, maybe 6 weeks.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit over.
It's going to be awesome.
Sure. And he's playing with our friend Pete Evick. And Brett Michaels.
Yep.
He's doing an appearance with the Brett Michaels band.
The Party Graw.
The Party
Is this
Graw.
number 4 or number 3?
It's number 3.
I did number 4.
All right.
Yeah. I think you skipped you two for number 4, wasn't it? Or skip Kevin on number 4.
Do we skip you for number 4?
No, it was Scorpions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we all agree.
Sisters listed as 4 and Scorpions 5, at least on the list that we assembled.
Uh-oh.
Well, we must have.
The digital art
Flip some
department
numbers.
is a little off. Yeah.
It's all good.
We're gonna
We have
blame.
to redo the digital art department pay scale.
Oh, there's the Love at First Sting.
There we go.
That's why we were talking about that album cover, and I had my little hold up. But now everybody can see how amazing that album cover is. At least a 13 or 14-year-old
day for album covers.
You
too.
know, there's probably a lot of kids that would be like, "That cover kind of sucks." But we didn't have internet. You know what I mean? You had to take what you could get in terms of the,
there's a lot that
salacious
kids these
material.
days don't get to see.
I know.
Because they don't go buy an album generally.
Right.
So, for us back in the day, it was cassettes. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much at this time. CDs, I guess, were starting to maybe start populating. Mm-hmm. But it was either vinyl or cassette. Mm-hmm. And, you're opening up the cassette and, depending on
Stretching
how
it out
large the band was, you had all the lyrics, which I would not be able to read now on a cassette.
Right.
But yeah, that was it, right? And it was the artwork.
Yeah.
We'd go into the record store and look, and
of course,
certain things are going to draw your eye based on the kind of rock or metal we were into.
Right. So of course, great album cover. And so you did your number 3, right?
I did. Yep.
Okay. So just to make sure. And then Lou, did you do your number 3?
Not yet.
Okay. You want to do your number 3?
Sure. I know it's probably number 1 for you guys, but Van Halen.
Oh man, it's just it's not a salacious album cover, but it is a badass album cover.
Awesome.
It is.
Yeah, the Cherub.
Yeah, and the songs were just so awesome.
Of course,
but
Van
my
Halen.
top 2 were just. It's all that I listened to. Like these 2 cassette tapes were like nonstop.
Yeah.
the Van Halen stuff was, when I heard on the radio, that was definitely up there. But
Panama. I'll just say Panama in one word, just Panama.
Mm-hmm.
Like holy song.
And Hot for Teacher.
Hot for Teacher, of course. And then now we're back into the videos, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So just that in itself. The Feel Good Eddie Van Halen in the Jump video.
Yep.
Yeah. Couldn't stop it. Ear to ear. All right. My number 3 was Whitesnake Slide It In, because that is just something I just could not stop listening to. Like that, when I heard the riff of the title track, like that riff is such a strong hook.
Yep.
And then Slow and Easy, followed that up, and just a beast of an album. And so I still listen to it a lot. That's going to be on my now list, just to say.
Love Ain't No Stranger.
Exactly. Yeah. And evidently reworked from the UK versions, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's something that we've seen, we've heard, I guess, the slickly produced US versions of these songs that made it onto this version of the Slide It In album. But I like the US version album. I guess I'm showing my colors in that one. I'm glad that they were reproduced, and whoever, I don't know the producer on that one that made those changes, but he did it the right way. So thank you. All right. Number 2. I'll go back. I'll go back to back. So there's my Van Halen, Lou.
Yep.
I'm with you on that one. So
Incredible.
So with the Van Halen with 1984, I hear a lot of people react negatively to this album because of the keyboards. Do you think that because maybe we were younger when we were first exposed to this, and we didn't have a deep, I love all the first 6 Van Halen albums, so don't get me wrong, but this was the one I heard first. So in other words, I didn't have a heartbreak over this album. Do you think that we're kind of immune from that? Because I know that, Kevin, this is on your list. I know you haven't hit it yet.
It's my number 2.
All right. All right, there we go. All right. And then John just put it up.
Yeah. So, I know Dave didn't like it.
Right.
But for me, because I had older stepbrothers, so the first Van Halen album was my entry drug to Van Halen.
Good for you.
So he had that, but, and Women and Children First. Those are 2 of my most favorite Van Halen albums.
Yeah, me
but
too.
The keyboards didn't bother me.
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying.
Music was good.
Right. Not that I was craving it. Not like I was like, I hope Van Halen stays in keyboard land.
Right.
You still wanted to hear Eddie and Eddie Van Halen, and of course David Lee Roth be David Lee Roth.
Right.
But it also didn't turn me off. I know that I've heard Eddie Trunk, obviously very famously, decried when he first dropped the needle on that album, because the first thing you hear are keyboards.
I mean, to me, and I think a lot of it was Dave's gone, but it seemed like they were trying to focus even more on that.
Right.
And I don't know if that on the subsequent albums, and I don't know if that was because they were trying to maybe twist the screws on Dave a little bit.
Sure.
But
yeah,
it didn't change my opinion on them.
Right. I actually think, have you done your number 2, Lou?
No.
All right. What's your number 2? Because I think we're all going to have the same number 1.
Yeah, number 2 is Twisted Sister.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that one, I wore that one out.
Uh-huh. Yeah, of course.
Captain Howdy, I think I must have played a dozen times back to back.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Rewind.
Right. And you'd have to find it.
Yeah.
Even before the tape decks had the, the pause, they could find the pause between songs and stop it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was terrible.
Yeah, I love that album.
You know what I love even more? That I know we all three have the same number 1. And I know.
Have to.
Yeah. So this is a straight up reveal.
Rat and roll, baby.
I know. What a bitchin'.
Yep.
That is so awesome that we all 3 have the same. I never would have guessed that would have happened. But that is badass, because this is a badass album.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Right?
Uncle
Incredible.
Milty in the video.
Right? Right? And,
I feel like I'm that dude on the Junkies, that Kevin kid. Absolutely magnificent, incredible. Everything is incredible, magnificent, whatever.
I was afraid of this. I'm recovering from a cold, so you guys are gonna make me laugh. I'm gonna choke every time that you right, exactly. But okay, so of course the gateway into Rat Out of the Cellar is Round and Round, and everybody I feel knows that song. But how badass is Wanted Man?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? The opening effects. I guess it's, like basically a percussion effect that starts that song with that Warren DeMartini riff that like hits behind it is just, in your face, badass.
Back for more.
Awesome. Back for more. You're in Trouble.
Yep.
Is a song that I still listen to. I don't know. Do you ride to that?
Oh, hell yeah.
That is a great riding song.
Especially now because, I think we know, and for those that are going to be at M3, Stephen Piercy is one of the musicians playing.
Yes.
And he's doing this album
Exactly.
from beginning to end in order as part of the set because of the 40th anniversary of Out of the Cellar.
I might have to go to that.
I know, right? Right. So did you read some of the press on that? That basically Warren DeMartini really doesn't want to revisit the material.
Yeah.
And so that prevented the Rat reunion from doing a full 1984, a Rat Out of the Cellar,
Right.
Tour
Which
from
blows.
1984. I know, because I would love to see Warren DeMartini playing these songs.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Lou, you should go, man. Like, I think that is going to, I'm telling you, Stephen Piercy, when we saw him, the last M3 Rock
Yep.
Festival, playing Rat songs, they were just as solid, as could be. Yeah. Highly recommend that.
It's just like seeing Dave do the old Van Halen stuff.
Exactly. All right. So we did then. So we're going to do now, right? So I got to reshuffle because I'm old school. So, don't look, Kevin. I know you're cheating. All right, hold on a second. You guys can kick it off if you want. You can talk.
Sure, I'll kick it off.
All right.
So,
Are
there's
you going to go with differences, or are you just going to read down the line?
well, there are differences.
All right.
So at
Gotcha.
number 10 for me was Twisted Sister fell to number 10.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh, Twisted. So because you're just not listening to it as much.
not listening to it as much, but it's more
That's
stuff
interesting.
that I became exposed to that I didn't realize was out at that time.
Gotcha. Now you're making me reorder because I didn't know you reordered the order. So now I'm going to reorder mine. All right. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Lou, are you reordered? You ready to go?
Yeah, I think so.
I got these damn cards. All right. Go ahead.
I think mine would still be Dokken number 10.
Okay, cool. I still got Dokken in mind. In fact, no, I don't. I'm going to go with you, Kevin. And I got Twisted Sister at number 10.
Okay.
Because I do still listen to it. So I'm not going to say that a 10 is a bad place because there's still a lot of albums from 1984 other than this that I listen to. But I'm with you.
Yeah, still a great album, but there's just other stuff that I'm into much more.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. Now, number 9.
You got your number 9?
I got my number 9, which is I'm going to go. So you want me to go? So like I said, I'm shuffling. This is where I need the digital art department. This is where I'm at
Yeah, you should
I'm
talk
at a
to the art
strong
department.
disadvantage here. I know. Damn it. I've learned my lesson. I'm going digital next time. All right, so I'm going now with Dokken Tooth and Nail because I still listen to Dokken. I have to confess, like we haven't hit it's at 85 or 86 with Under Lock and Key.
Well, we'll get to it. They're on my list, the now list.
Yeah, I was gonna say I must confess I listen to Under Lock and Key more than I listen to Tooth and Nail, but I still do pull that one back out and listen to it at number 9. Do we get your 9, Lou?
Yeah, mine's pretty much the same for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still Judas Priest at number 9. There's really only one change between now and then.
All right.
One replaced by another, but a couple of the top ones moved down a little bit.
Yeah.
But other than that, my bottom five are the same. So Judas Priest.
Cool.
So my 9 is Maiden falls down to number 9.
Okay.
Power Slave.
Yeah. That one was a tough one for me. Maiden was too scary for me. I'll have to confess being the nerd that I was in 1984. So kind of pick up and run with that one. That looked very intimidating. When was Number of the Beast?
That was before that.
And so it's kind of funny because I had that album, but I didn't go down this road. I don't know why. Maybe the horror of Number of the Beast was more attractive somehow, some way. But I kind of skipped over, this Maiden album really in my lists. And I still listen to Power Slave, but not as still, I guess maybe even to this day is Number of the Beast. So that's not in either one of my lists, although I would not say that it's a bad album. It's an amazing album.
Yeah, there's kind of a topic for another bottoms up or another discussion at some point where we want to rank stuff is there was a recent article that came out that were metal bands that had the best 5 album runs.
Yeah, that is.
And that was Maiden was on
Of
that
course.
list, from Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast,
Right.
Peace of Mind.
Mm-hmm. You could see Priest in this run also.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right. Where are we at? Number 8. My Love at First Sting. Still got that there. I got to fall in a little bit because I made room for some stuff I was exposed to a little later in life.
yeah. So for me, now at number 8 would be Armored Saint, March of the Saint.
Yeah, that's cool. And that's another one that I was exposed to after the fact.
Yeah.
So, like, in other words, I picked that up thanks to our buddy Damon.
Right.
Like,
Well, and
probably,
he
like-
loved them, and
Yes,
we
he
used to
did.
make fun of them for liking them.
I feel-
and then we got into it.
Exactly. I feel like I've kind of even acknowledged it with the wear today. So, like, and we're going to go see Armored Saint
Yes.
in another
Next
2
month.
months. Yeah. So we're still there, Damon. Thank you for that. Sorry we goofed on you because we thought you were a dork for listening.
Right. Because we were at the Kick Show when Armored Saint opened.
Exactly. That's
He-
right.
He's like, "What do you mean you're not coming in to watch them?"
Right. Yeah.
Some other stories that could be shared.
Exactly. All right, Lou. Anything to say? Any major shifts?
A little bit.
All right.
We're at number 8, right?
Yes.
I think I'd probably put Fistful of Metal.
Cool.
Anthrax.
I know. That was
I picked
one.
them up later on in life.
I feel like I got honorable mentions. That's
Yeah.
an honorable mention.
Yep.
Which, by the way, like since you're throwing up honorable mention, I'm going to go with Helix with Walking the Razor's Edge, because that's another one in your vein of Armored Saint
Yep.
that I picked up kind of after 1984. But Wild in the Streets, what a badass song!
yeah.
And to me, an easy recognizable riff and is awesome. All right, so we're at number 7. 7 for Kevin.
So that's Priest, Defenders of the Faith.
All right, so just shift it
Drop
a little
down
bit.
a little.
Yep. So you're making room for some other stuff down at the bottom.
Absolutely.
I'm doing the same thing with Billy Idol, so like I'll just flip that because Idol to me went up. I feel like I've gained more respect for Billy Idol over the years. So he was my number 10, but I have him instead at number 7, just out of love for everything he's done. And I still think it's just an amazing album that I probably listen to a lot. Not probably, I do.
Yeah.
All right. Did you get 7, Lou?
I think that would be probably Billy Idol.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right, number 6. So there's my Whitesnake. I know I listened to it a lot in '84, but I'm still listening to it now. But again, making room.
So for me, Wasp comes onto the list there.
I know. I saw that. I know. I was thinking about Wasp also. So like you turned on to them after '84.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
I'm trying to think. What was the video that was out as a single for this album?
Love Machine.
That's right. And you didn't see it as much because it was more of a controversial video.
Yeah, they weren't gonna be showing that too often on MTV.
Exactly right. And that was when MTV was wrestling with all of that. And it never, to me, really stopped, but it was
Right.
more extreme in the early days of MTV.
Yeah, it was really more when Animal,
Yeah.
Fuck Like a Beast,
Yes.
came out.
Yes.
And then the whole spin up with the PMRC and
Uh-huh.
all of that stuff is when I'm like, oh, what's this song about?
Yes, exactly.
And then that
yes.
tracked back on all of their stuff.
Yeah. Not too bad about our Wash show. Like, what was it, 6 months ago? 7 months ago?
Yeah,
Yeah. But it was a lot of backing tracks.
it was.
That was it.
It was a lot of backing tracks.
Yes. It was that was backing track extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a mix of stuff that you would expect,
Right.
to some of the orchestration,
Right.
some of the stuff to build into songs that
Right.
you would kind of expect when they were playing certain things. But yeah,
Right.
when the bass player is nowhere to be found. And
Exactly.
There's
There's
a bass line.
You're right. There's a strong bass line to play in. All right. What you got for number 5 there, Lou?
Love at First Sting.
All right. Very cool. All right. So here I finally have something new at my number 4. There's my Metallica Ride the Lightning. Because I did not discover Metallica until Master of Puppets.
Yep. Me too.
And then, of course,
We all
going
discovered it in Damon Flaman's, what was it, Mustang 2 or whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
right. Yes, yeah, with like a
Dude, check this out.
cloud of Marlboro light smoke.
Yes,
Like you're trying to like stay
On the way to
conscious.
McDonald's during break
Right.
at the hayloft.
Heater at full blast, cloud of smoke, like just
Yeah.
all oxygen's being robbed out of the environment that you're in.
Yes.
You have combination between a contact buzz and a heat passing out, heat stroke. It's about to happen. Yeah, like and then
Dude,
go
it's fucking cold in here.
right. Yeah.
I'm not rolling my window down.
You're killing me. You're killing me. Right. So like, who would figure that he would have turned us on to some of this stuff?
Yeah.
But yes, but I don't think this. I mean, we did
It's
a bottom.
the older brother syndrome. That's
know.
how some of the stuff that I got into was.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is like, the baby brother to me for Master Puppets. And we did this when we talked about, so if you want to go backtrack and see another Bottoms Up where we just focus one time through on Metallica albums, I had this ranked lower than Master of Puppets, but not too much lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my number 2 or 3. So, yeah, badass album. Number 4.
Tooth and Nail.
All right, cool. Oh, you're still listening to that? You're still heavy on
Man,
it. Yeah,
I
good
love.
for you.
I always loved Dokken, but
Yeah.
for me, Under Lock and Key is when I got into them.
Yeah, yeah.
because of the "It's Not Love" video, and
You
all of
prefer
that.
Tooth and Nail to Under Lock and Key? I think I feel like Tooth and Nail's a heavier
That's
album.
like trying to pick your favorite kid.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, which I've seen you
Both
do that.
of those albums are great.
I've seen you pick favorite kids, but then I've seen you pick different ones after you pick the favorite.
So yeah,
Yeah,
My turn.
yeah.
So we're at number 4, correct?
Number 4,
Van Halen drops.
Van Halen dropped for you.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. To number 4, Van Halen.
All right. All right. Number 4. Number 3. What do you got for number 3?
Ride the Lightning.
Okay, so there where you dropped in your Metallica.
Yeah, they went way up.
Of course.
Dropped out Dio, Yngwie, and Bon Jovi out of my top 10.
So I'm still holding on to Van Halen for number 3. Like you said, you moved your Van Halen, but I still like the first 6 albums, like you're saying about your 5-album run. That's like a good way to
Right.
put it. Like those first 6 Van Halen albums are just beast upon beast of albums.
Yeah.
I'm going backwards from John's camera, like we're doing a dance. So the Cherub holds at number
Trying to get
3
to
for
art
me.
department.
yeah. So we skipped me for 4, but that was Dio.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so
It's all
sorry. Uh-huh.
good. Last in line. So it was my number 4.
4.
But then Van Halen stayed with me.
Look at that. I love it. Here we go in lockstep, baby. This is not overly controversial yet. I think maybe it might get there when I get to my number 1. All right. So number 2, you want to go since we skipped you, Kevin? We'll
I'll go
4,
with
3,
number 2.
Yeah.
It's still Rat and Roll.
All right. So I'm right there with you. So that's kind of funny that we still are you number 2 for Rat then too, Lou?
No.
You held it at number 1.
Held at number 1.
Strong.
And held number 2, Twisted Sister.
Okay. Look, man, you were like dedicated your then and now.
Yeah, I mean, just because those were the 2 albums or cassettes that just stayed like beginning to end, like just constant rotation the whole time, and just brings back. You hear some of those riffs and just brings you back to being 14, 15 years old again, and
Sure.
those
So-
2 in particular bring me back probably more than any other albums.
Are you saying you never grew up? Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Is that your way of putting it that way?
I think
pretty much.
I love
I
it.
think a lot of people would say that about all of us.
Right? All right. I know my number 1 is not going to be y'all's number 1. I'll reveal my number 1, which is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Because obviously I'm a huge Chili's fan. The first 5 albums are sacred to me. So you're talking about your 5-album run. Maybe even first 6 albums are sacred. So this is in that canon. And I don't know if this is a fully formed Red Hot Chili Peppers, but they're wild on this album, and I love it. I love how loose it is. I love how like it captures, their punk beast spirit. I didn't discover them until Mother's Milk, unfortunately. I wish I would have discovered them early in life because who knows how I would have been, exposed to differently like over the years. But of course, I got to have the Chili's and that canon in my number 1 canon of albums.
So for me, number 1 now is Metallica.
Okay, I was wondering. I had a feeling that you did not leave that off the list.
No,
Yeah.
that's
Of course, Mr. Thrash. that is your like bread and butter.
Yeah, but same, as both of you guys. It was Master Puppets and then backtracking to Ride the Lightning and Kill 'Em All.
Which is a great backtrack.
Yep.
Like back then when we say backtracking, that came at a price. Like literally, like somebody had to buy that album. It's not like streaming, like, oh, I'm going to check that shit out. And then you just look up the title and then there it is. Like somebody had to commit at least $10, to that.
That was a lot of money back then.
Totally.
And spending lots of time in Waxy Maxis.
Right. Yeah. Right. The money and the time. Like you had to get there. Like you had to, figure all that out.
It was like 2.5 hours of work.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Right. So like, you had to like really commit. All right. Did we leave anything off? Do you guys have any other honorable mentions? Did we miss anything?
I don't know. Out of the metal categories, I don't think so. Not for me.
Well,
you brought up some good ones.
Yeah.
Slayer's first EP came out in '84, Haunting the Chapel. And that's just legit. But
and what about Queensryche, The Warning? I was expecting to see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably should have brought that one up.
Yeah. That was another potential honorable mention.
That was one of the ones that I sort of got on big time in college. And I've stayed with Queensryche, but they've sort of lessened over the last few years. After they broke up, it's not the same.
Of course. But when I was in San Antonio, Jeff Tate was playing in San Antonio at a theater that I walked by. Yeah. But he wasn't playing. He was actually playing. I left on Saturday, and he was playing Saturday.
Wasn't he playing around here at Tally Ho soon?
Yes. Yeah, it's part of that, yes.
Yeah, we got to hit up Marcello and go hit that up.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And the first Metal Church album came out in '84.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Which is very, very good.
Yeah.
But for me, it was the dark.
Yes.
When I started getting into that.
Right. So. I hadn't realized that, like that to me is like the Chili's. I think people are shocked to hear they go back to 1984. Metal Church is like that too. Yep. I wouldn't have put them at 1984 necessarily.
Was that even Anthony Kiedis in '84?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, right. I mean, those old videos, I mean, he looks like he's 2, like he's not the Anthony Kiedis of now, but I think like, people.
Who was a singer before him though? Wasn't there somebody before him?
I know there's somebody. I don't think that there's nobody that recorded. Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, I think that like if you came up on Californication, Stadium Arcadium, you didn't realize how deep they go back and how old they actually are. But yeah. Who knew? All right. So hopefully we gave a good tribute to 1984.
I hope so.
And,
we lived it.
Exactly. And then that will lead to, all the good blessings of a 2024, stepping back 40 years. So we can also examine some other, like I said, I like your idea of the possible 5-album run version of Bottoms Up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to keep these. I'm curious too. Maybe we can talk about this with Spread Eagle. See how they feel about 1984. Little Bottoms Up on Friday night.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Nothing wrong with a Friday. Nothing wrong with a Friday night Bottoms Up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
In multiple ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So, again, Spread Eagle this Friday here at the Salisbury Center. Special guest F It All.
Mm-hmm.
And
our friends F It All. I was going to go with like a possible conversation about F bands with F It All, even though they don't start their actual band name with an F, the letter F. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what mood they're in.
To think about that.
Exactly.
How sober they are.
I just said what mood they were in. How they're feeling that night.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's it. We're going to wrap it up for today. And we'll be back at you guys on Friday for another episode of the Stand Up and Shout Rock Show.
48 hours. Another show in 48 hours. We'll see you then. And then even better, show up to the Salisbury Center and see the live version of the Stand Up and Shout Rock Show.
See ya.
See ya. Nice.